President Trump has signed new orders changing immigration rules in America. These changes are part of his administration's broader efforts to reform the immigration system. These orders have caused concern and confusion for many people, especially those living in the U.S. without proper papers. Families are worried about their future and the potential for sudden deportations. The orders aim to increase deportations, targeting those who have committed crimes, but also affecting many who have lived peacefully in the country for years. They also make it harder for people to seek safety in the U.S., tightening the criteria for asylum and refugee status. These changes have sparked a lot of debate, with strong opinions on both sides of the issue. Some people believe they are necessary to protect the country, arguing that stricter rules will enhance national security. Others argue that they are cruel and unfair, pointing out the human cost and the impact on families and communities. It is important to understand what these orders mean for undocumented immigrants and their families, as they navigate an increasingly complex legal landscape. The situation is complex and constantly changing, with new developments and legal challenges arising frequently. It is crucial for undocumented immigrants to stay informed about their rights and options, and to seek reliable information. They should seek help from legal experts and community organizations to navigate these uncertain times, ensuring they have the support they need. The future of immigration in America remains uncertain, with potential changes on the horizon depending on political shifts. However, by understanding the new rules and seeking support, undocumented immigrants can better protect themselves and their loved ones, finding ways to adapt and thrive despite the challenges. The terms undocumented immigrant and illegal immigrant are often used interchangeably. However, there is a distinction between the two. Understanding this difference is important. An undocumented immigrant is a person who has entered the United States without proper authorization or who has overstayed their visa. They are present in the country without legal permission. This term is often preferred as it is seen as more humane and accurate. It acknowledges that a person's immigration status does not define their entire being. Illegal immigrant is a term that is often used to criminalize and dehumanize individuals. It implies that a person's presence in the country is inherently criminal. This term can be harmful and perpetuate negative stereotypes. It is important to use respectful and accurate language when discussing immigration. Using the term undocumented immigrant acknowledges the complexities of the situation. It recognizes that these individuals are human beings deserving of respect and dignity. President Trump's executive orders on immigration have far-reaching consequences. These orders are not just policy changes, they have real, tangible effects on people's lives. They affect not only undocumented immigrants, but also their families, communities, and the country as a whole. The ripple effects of these orders extend far beyond the individuals directly targeted. The orders prioritize the deportation of undocumented immigrants, focusing on those with any criminal record, no matter how minor. This includes individuals who have been living in the United States for many years, have families, and contribute to their communities. Many of these people have built their lives here and are integral parts of their neighborhoods. The fear of deportation creates immense anxiety and uncertainty for these individuals and their loved ones. The constant threat of being torn away from their homes and families is a heavy burden to bear. The executive orders also target children born in the United States to undocumented parents. These children, despite being U.S. citizens, face the fear of losing their parents to deportation. These children are U.S. citizens by birthright. They have the same rights as any other American child, yet their lives are overshadowed by the threat to their families. However, the orders seek to challenge this right, creating a legal and emotional battleground for these families. This has created fear and confusion among families. Parents and children alike are left in a state of constant worry, unsure of what the future holds. Furthermore, the orders make it harder for people to seek asylum in the United States. The process has become more stringent, leaving many in dire situations. Asylum seekers are individuals fleeing persecution in their home countries. They come to the U.S. seeking safety and a chance to rebuild their lives. The new rules make it more difficult for them to find safety and protection in the U.S. Many are left in limbo, unsure if they will be granted the refuge they desperately need. The impact of these executive orders is widespread. They touch the lives of millions of people, creating a climate of fear and uncertainty. They affect millions of people, from those directly targeted to the broader communities that rely on their contributions. It is important to understand these impacts to advocate for just and humane immigration policies. Only through awareness and action can we hope to create a more compassionate and fair system. According to recent estimates, the executive orders could lead to the deportation of over 1 million individuals. For instance, approximately 300,000 people from Mexico, 150,000 from Guatemala, and 100,000 from Honduras are expected to be affected. These numbers highlight the extensive reach of the new policies. Under the Trump administration's new executive orders, deportation is a real threat for many undocumented immigrants. The fear and uncertainty have permeated communities, affecting countless lives. While the administration claims to prioritize criminals, the reality is that anyone without proper documentation is vulnerable. This means that families, workers, and even children are not exempt from the threat of deportation. The definition of criminal has been broadened significantly. It now includes minor offenses which were previously overlooked. Even a traffic violation could lead to deportation, turning everyday activities into potential risks. This has created a climate of fear and anxiety within immigrant communities. Undocumented immigrants are afraid to leave their homes, even for essential activities like grocery shopping or medical appointments. Certain groups are particularly vulnerable under these new policies. These include recent arrivals. Individuals who have entered the U.S. recently are at higher risk of being targeted. Those with criminal records, even minor offenses, can make individuals targets for deportation. This includes offenses that many might consider trivial. Asylum seekers are also at risk. The new rules make it very difficult for asylum seekers to enter the U.S. and stay legally, adding another layer of complexity to their already challenging situations. It's important to remember that everyone has rights, regardless of their immigration status. Knowing these rights can make a significant difference. If you are facing deportation, it is crucial to seek legal counsel immediately. Legal experts can provide guidance and support during these difficult times. Know your rights and don't be afraid to assert them. Empower yourself with knowledge and take action to protect your future. As the Trump administration's immigration policies take effect, the landscape of enforcement has changed drastically. ICE, or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, has ramped up its operations, conducting raids in various locations across the country. These raids often occur in places where undocumented immigrants are likely to be found: workplaces, homes, and even community centers. The fear of an unexpected knock on the door has become a daily reality for many. ICE agents have been granted broad powers under these new directives. They can detain individuals without prior criminal records, and are not limited to targeting those with serious offenses. This has led to widespread fear and confusion, as many immigrants feel they are constantly under surveillance. States and cities have reacted to these aggressive deportation tactics in different ways. Some states have chosen to become sanctuary states, enacting policies that limit their cooperation with federal immigration authorities. These sanctuary policies aim to protect undocumented immigrants from being targeted solely based on their immigration status. Cities like New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco have been vocal in their opposition to the Trump administration's immigration policies, emphasizing the importance of community trust and public safety. However, not all states have taken this protective stance. Some have aligned closely with the federal government's approach, increasing their cooperation with ICE and supporting the administration's efforts to enforce immigration laws strictly. This has created a patchwork of policies across the country, leading to confusion and uncertainty among immigrant communities. In this climate of heightened enforcement and mixed state reactions, it's crucial for undocumented immigrants to stay informed about their rights and the policies in their specific locations. Legal aid organizations and community groups continue to provide resources and support, helping individuals navigate these challenging times. The impact of these policies is far-reaching, affecting not just the individuals targeted by ICE but also their families, communities, and the social fabric of the nation. As the debate over immigration continues, the stories of those affected highlight the human cost of these sweeping changes.